I always believe journey is like water flowing. Water flows downhill, it never flows uphill, or rarely, if anything, flows uphill. And so as you're journeying downhill, you don't know what to expect, but you're trusting that that path that was previously traveled is the same path that you're journeying down. And so I believe that our kupuna are the ones who had created this path prior to me moving smoothly down, and hopefully my path had smoothed the rocks even more for the next generation to come. It started with birth and the curiosity that happened throughout preschool and elementary, and then into getting accepted at 11 years old into Kamehameha schools, and being yanked from nurturing parents into becoming a boarder and having to hang on your own. It was a really tough situation for 6 years of that. So the development of becoming an individual was propagated in all of those pre-years until graduation. And so upon graduation and going into college, that part, I think, set the pattern for how I wanted to live, which means I didn't accept what is there, but what I believe my journey should be. The inspiration of writing Mele actually is a violation of vulnerability, which means I have to go in, I gotta bust myself up. And in that vulnerability comes the honesty of how can I tell this story in a way that someone else can relate. So I tell stories that it seems like everyone knows that same story, maybe not the same situation, but still has the same experience. And so that kind of lesson to create Mele maybe set the stage for this particular one. And I don't travel alone. I travel with many of the mentors, my kupuna who have taught me, and also my longtime partner who created the Mele, Dr. Keola Donaghy, and helped to unpack those kinds of ideas in a more poetic way. So Mele is a style of transferring information in a nonviolent kind of way to an audience that would normally would not be unified in thought if it were a perspective that were spoken. So Mele actually is the bridge that breaks down all the walls and allows transference of information in such a valued way that it makes us, rather than move forward, it makes us kind of sit back and take it in ourselves and regurgitate within our own spirit. When Keola and I had written this Mele, it wasn't only about the honorees, because honorees are part of the Lahui. We're Kanaka. And like how you make leaders in our system? You don't choose the leader. You just throw them in a room, and all of a sudden, organically, a leader pops up depending on what situation needs to be had. And that is what I believe the ʻŌʻō Award does. It says, we are lei hulu, and whatever needs to happen, those flight wings come up. So I remember this one Mele where Keola said, hey, let's turn this into a hail. And so when you see little birds, when they're first born, they're cute because they got fluffy feathers. But the feathers are useless because you cannot fly. And then when you get the ʻēheu, the flight wings, is when the bird can start to take off. And so the leadership is that ʻēheu, that's the ones that grow the flight wings to take the lahui further and further and further. And so the lei hulu manuoiwi is this massive lei of leadership that doesn't separate itself from the cape or whatever it is, the kahili or whatever it is. No, it is the flight wings that grabs on and holds on to the oiwi as we take ourselves to a higher place. That's what the Mele truly speaks about. Not to divorce ourselves, but to carry the load as the oiwi rises to the top. Our kuleana is to remember the past, to make it better, and then to pass the torch on. A lot of times when we as leaders are leading and we want to mentor, most leaders want to hold on to the baton when they give it to the next person in line to run, so it bogs the next person down. We have to learn how to let go and allow that person to become who the lahui dreams of being. And that is a true indication of a true leader, is to build the lahui by releasing the you and letting the we happen.